An invocation of these energies that are responsible of creation, destruction, and creation again, yet again, spiraling around me, encapsulating me, mysticizing me, mystifying you, maybe. Am I a myth or a reality? Today's reality is tomorrow's myth. Tomorrow's myth is yesterday's reality. I weave a web of illusion. I entice, create desires. I am terrible. A destroyer, a slayer of all that entangles into my web, licking the root of their desires. Now there's a question. Is desire evil? Aren't we all born out of desire? Of all that entangles into my web, licking the root of their desires, vanquishing it, bestowing freedom to all who dare to play with me, I am Maya. The fire within is without. I am the creator and the destroyer. Come, come, play with me. Isn't it all in our mind? Mind which is just a space, one thought born, one thought dead. Like forms, births, relationships, rising like a bubble gum in my mouth and ending right there. Convictions which are trained by time. Swallowing them, vanquishing them, licking them, erasing them. And Maya is laughing, giving it yet another chance to play with her, enjoying this whole parody of blood, life, birth, and death. And life again. Do I want to be liberated? Do I want to continue with this kale, this play? My kale is my mind is my flight. My flight is beyond a zillion skies, suns, moons, and stars. I ride the wave of wind and water. I dive deep beneath the earth, finding the world of earth and skies no different from the world above or from the world within. I believe that to explain the manifestations from one to many, of forms, names, and a calendar of time within which each was created, can be attributed to an evocation of these energies. It is my personal belief that from the mythological form of Ardhanareshwar, when Parvati disengaged from Shiva, this I'm talking about the yin and yang and the total balance which was called the Ardhanareshwar, where there was no line of gender. Shakti gained form and started manifesting as many. Shakti is the energy or that composite energy through which everything is being created and regenerated in this whole universe or universes. From Shakti arose the 7 energies called Saptamantrikas, the 8 mothers or Ashtalakshmis, the 10 Mahavidyas or the 10 sense of knowledges, multiplying further into 64 yoginis or 64 yogini, then 81 yogini or 81 yoginis. These are yoginis are the energies which are constantly multiplying, and they are constantly, there's no definite number to it. This is the number which has been mythically given or probably scripturally given, but I believe that they are constantly multiplying, and we cannot count the number because it is sort of rejoicing. It has its own rhythm, its own dance, its own celebration in everything around us, maybe in this chair, in you, me, in this projector, in light, in the trees outside. Everything is throbbing with energy. Only then it is existing. If it was not throbbing with energy, even if it is what we consider it to be dead, it is not dead. It has a certain energy which is sort of changing its form constantly into something else. It is constantly channelizing it, rechannelizing it. I'm talking about that energy. Forms that continue to evolve to satisfy our needs, desires or to bring balance to this world. This, of course, is my personal belief. I am not contradicting anybody's belief, but this is what I believe in. Not something you will find in a book or rendered as a philosophy researching somewhere in a library, but it appeals to me just as much as many versions of energy that exist. I share in those versions and am fascinated by their interpretations and manifestations too. As Virginia Woolf writes, for I think back through our mothers, if we are women, manifestations inspire me to attempt to analyze the world I see around me, especially as a woman who must make sense daily of injustices in the world, to comprehend why we continue to look away when prejudice occurs, when sensitivities are overlooked, or when negative forces are invoked. I therefore look inwards to evoke the energy that is manifest in each one of us, to apply the healing salve of motherhood to a world that needs it. For that energy resides in each one of us, women and men, crossing all genders, and it is that we must manifest. I look within the womb to discover that which is outside. I want to awaken my senses to experience the goddess's gift of what nature bestows on us. Not just of life, but of the sun that shines and the rain that rejuvenates, of the heat and the cold and all things that bring to life that which is around us. I believe in that energy, and it is a journey. It is a journey. Is it of self-realization? I empty myself to Maya, surprising me by my own responses to her different forms and manifestations, her incarnations. The more I understand her, the more I want to realize her. Maya, the illusion and the creator of illusion, I look within the womb to discover that which is outside. I become the womb, armed with solace and caring. I am the earth, ancient, primeval, modern, and all-encompassing. So the world, all nature tells me, so it shall tell you. Archetypes, symbols, chance, automatism, spontaneity, energy, gesture, materiality, knowledge, transcendence, wisdom, discretion, liberation, merging of forms and sounds, an essence crossing over from light to flight, to insight, enter into the insight, into the realm of incarnation, birth, death, and the journey of soul in segments. We see a full stop. Whenever there is an end, a death, there is a full stop, an end of a sentence. There is a full stop. We see a full stop. Do you see a full stop? The energy does not stop flowing at that point. It recoups, reforms, and moves on. We start with another sentence. Death is not the end. It is the energy changing direction, cursing on, thrusting again in a different form and space and pace. Just like my painting, me cuddled in the lap of Pitaji, that is my grandfather, mesmerized by stories, fantasies, fantasizing, drawing that first dot, that full stop, and falling in love with the movement as that dot changed into line, a line into a form, and that form gaining life, rhythm, dance, and life. Oh, how I drew on the walls, my clothes, and myself, experiencing the pulse of that movement. I was in love for the first time. At what age? At 3? I think the first time we fall in love, we realize who we, like what are we liking, what do we want, is around that time, isn't it? I was in love for the first time and it stayed with me. Birth and death are two sides of the same coin. Time is cyclical. There is no end, is or is not, known or not to know, I am or not. In the vastness of my heart chakra, there is only curiosity. From sublime we emerge, to the gross we expand. Attachments, desires, thirst binds us. I cannot move forward. The clinging is mutual. Letting go always is struggle. We are tied, all of us, we are tied with the same umbilical cord. I think we all share the same space, the same womb. We cannot deny it. We are all tied by the same consciousness. We are all tied by the same umbilical cord. The binding rope becomes the umbilical cord, connecting all souls with subconsciousness, the divine and the light. In the yoni, soul and body come together again and again and again. In life after life, the play of life begins and it ends there. But the cycle continues. It surprises us with choices, journeys, two journeys. Our feet carve a path of their own. Two moments, two lives passed away. Live these drenched, dive deep in color, brimming with rhymes and songs. Nothing comes out of churning of oceans. In the desperate thirst, I saw the alchemy of nectar turning into poison. I saw myself changing in the desire to be perfect, saw myself falling from the heights, collapsing into a squared, planned whirlpool. Who says there is liberation here? Who says it is important to rise after falling? Who says it is important to see yourself and others in you after falling? Only rising is important. After liberation, it is important to live. After watching yourself, just seeing yourself is important. The truth of white resides in black. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The body returns to dust in the grave. But isn't grave also a womb? Energy flows back into the universe. The Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb from which the first seed emerges, tracing the path of prana through body. And the journey continues through fire to air to water, water to earth, and earth to life. The fire of the pyre is also in the female belly, as said in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. They pass into the smoke, from smoke into the night, from the night into the fortnight of the waning moon. Reaching the moon, they become food. Their gods feed on them. When that ends, they pass into this very sky. From sky into the wind, from wind into the rain, from rain into the earth. Reaching the earth, they become food. They are again offered in the fire of man, and then take birth in the fire of woman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me. It was never ending, and I made it longer by putting in some empty spaces also. And if there are any questions, if anyone resonated with my work and you would like to ask something, anything, my process, I'm here. I would like to. Yeah.
So, my name is Meena. I'm with the South Asian Institute, and it was wonderful to see your presentation and the reading. And I guess I was always struck by whether you had choreographed the selection of your painting with the words, because it was just, I don't know if it was serendipity that what you were saying was showing up. How does your real life get, impacted?
And questioning yourself and trying to find out answers, trying to relate to existence around you, and trying to find the similarities of yourself in others and others in you that I think bring about a reason to be, which is the supreme consciousness.